All right, it's Fairfield County Live and Local. We're presented by the Sono Collection. My name is John Kamal from 95.9 The Fox. Hashtag Save Our Stages, by the way. Please check it out. Please help support your local venues. Local venues like the Orange Ale House, which these guys just finished playing about 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, 15 minutes ago.
And rushed from their gig just so they could talk to me. How cool is that? This is Hawkins.
Still there.
Guys, thank you so much for being here tonight. How you feeling?
Good, man. Thank you for having us.
Got that little post-show glow going on. Just covered in sweat and feeling excited about life.
Yeah.
God, isn't that a rare feeling these days?
3 hours.
Yeah, 3 hours.
3 hours. It was a 3-hour show. Did you guys take a break? Or you playing the whole time?
One break for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, there was one break. Yeah.
My
I think we did about 35 songs, 40 songs,
Something like that. Yeah.
Wow. See, that's how you can tell you're not a jam band. Because if you were a jam band, you'd be like, yeah, we played like 3 or 4 tunes. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
20-minute cover a whipping post to finish off the set. Oh my gosh. So you guys are a very new band. When you guys reached out to me, I looked you up May 2019. Am I getting that right? That's when you all kind of came together.
Yeah, sounds right about it.
And you've got, your first single, which is out right now, which we're all going to hear at 9:00. It's called Lights Off. And this is a phenomenal tune. But before we get into the specifics of that, let's talk about how you guys came together. Because it's a band of brothers, except for the titular member. I don't know if that sounds dirty, but Hawkins. So we've got from left to right, for people watching from left to right, we have Josh, we have Hawkins in the teal, I want to say, shirt. And I don't know, whatever the filter is. And then we have Ricky and we have Joe. Now, Josh, Ricky, and Joe, you guys are all brothers, correct?
Yeah, that's what our parents tell us.
Okay.
That's what we think. Yeah. There's no data to prove it, but yeah.
So bands of brothers aren't altogether uncommon, but how did the three of you guys link up with Hawkins?
That's your story.
Yeah. So my brother Joshua is a sound engineer, and he did sound all the time at RVP Studios in West Hazen. And we all began to get involved in the studio because that's kind of where we naturally belong. And we've been doing music for a really long time. And one day it was February 2nd, very early in the morning. I'm walking in, it's really cold in the hallway, and I hear somebody singing. And a very unique thing happens, John. My ears spooled for one of the first times. I'm hearing the Marshall Tucker Band, Can't You See, right? And I can't tell if it's the radio or if it's just someone singing.
All right.
So I start easing closer to the door where I hear it coming from. And I'm just trying to guess if it's the radio. So I don't hear bass or drums, but I hear someone singing. So I was determined to say that, all right, whoever walks out of this door, I have to talk to. And sure enough, it was this guy. And I told him that he had a spectacular voice. And we eventually did some shows together, and it just took off from there.
Yeah, sounds
right on. And this was around when? This was how long ago?
Last year.
It was about a year ago. It was
about a year.
It was like May or February, March of last year.
So you guys jumped right into being in a band together. There was no middle time where you just kind of
a show to sing for you guys for a show. We did we did a few songs in one show. It went well. And then I went out and I was like, hey, would you guys be down to do it again? And I tried to get us a gig at O'Malley's in Fairfield. Yeah. And 200 people showed up, and it went really well. So we decided to make it official.
It was kind of crazy because we did a rehearsal in my studio. Then the first show we've ever done as a band in front of 300 people. Then the next show was at a bar in front of 300 people.
It
was a wild week.
Yeah, it was a wild
week. So let's talk about that for a second though, because that's I've been in countless bands, and I'd say 2 of them maybe had shows that could expect crowds that big. What's the secret? What did you guys do that got such immediate exposure and such an immediate response from the audience?
I think it's the energy and the chemistry. I don't think that Joe's going to admit this, but it's mainly a lot of the musicianship that comes from this guy.
Joe, and I don't even take this lightly. I think Joe is one of the best guitar players in America.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you. He is. When you see him live, come to a live show, you'll be like, okay, he might be.
Well, and you know what? I have to admit, I kind of agree. Because this is so I listened to the song, and I mean, I'm gonna butcher your sound a little bit here, so bear with me. But I mean, there's very much a kind of a pop punk leaning. You know what I mean? I hear a lot of early 2000s influences. Obviously, the songs are a little bit shorter. Like maybe like 3 to 4 minutes. You don't think, when you think of that genre and you think of songs like that, you don't think of virtuoso guitar work. But the guitar work on this song, on your single Lights Off, is extremely interesting and layered and intricate. So, I mean, is a majority of the music, Joe, coming from you?
Well, that's a good question. I think, when it comes to like the whole, like vision of the sound, I think we all kind of implement our own vibe into it. I will say the guitar work, obviously, that's my kind of vision for it. But
that's you.
When it comes to with the way it sounds, but when it comes to like kind of like taking a step back and looking at the overview of a track, everyone's throwing in so many different.
We
ideas.
all get along very well, and all four of us have written songs by ourselves. So like we all just say stuff. I mean, but Joe does something, and then we all look and we're like, yeah, that's it.
But individually, each of us are like instrumentalists. Besides, like just our prime instrument, like I could play guitar, keyboard, bass. They all do the same thing.
Yeah, I play piano, guitar. Yeah,
Joe could play everything: bass, guitar. Ricky too. Ricky can play guitar and keyboard as well. It's like we all just like.
None of you guys can sing though.
No. Background vocals, but like nothing crazy. But like individually, we all write. And we add and contribute to each and everyone else's parts. Like Joe would have a riff, and I'll say, Joe, maybe let's change it up a little bit.
Yeah, it's a group effort for sure. We all throw ideas out there, and then we all morph it into what we want.
Nice. Well, I mean, that's not always the easiest way to run a band and to write music. I mean, like bands are one of those things where sometimes it honestly benefits from a dictatorship. So how do you, describe the work ethic with you guys? What is walk me through the creation of a song.
I guess I would say, well, Joe is the guitar player, right? So like he comes up with the guitar melodies,
primary melody instrument.
We kind of build around that, but with the vocals, like we all create the melodies for the vocals, and then I'll just fix them a little more because I'm actually a singer, so I'll like be like, I should take that up here. You know what I mean? But I think it's because we all get along so well, so we're like we don't fight about it. You know what I mean? It's just like, hey. If 3 of us like it and 1 of us don't, it's going in the song. You know what I mean? It's a majority rules kind of thing.
Well, and I think what helps too is that you each there's no doubling up on instruments. You each play one instrument, so you're each kind of contributing something.
Yeah, that's
unique musically. But Hawkins, though, I mean, you're an interesting cat, dude. So I was reading on the website about you. You were a pro skater for a little while there.
Yeah, I wasn't professional, but I was competing. I was sponsored by a few skate companies, and I was flowed by a couple smaller companies like Be Easy and stuff. And I went to Woodward, and skating was my path. That was what I wanted to do. But after you break a few bones and start to get hurt all the time, it's just like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore.
Yeah, dude.
I still skate. Like I still skate all the time. We just had a show at the skate park, and I was killing it. And like I won a competition like a few months ago, but yeah, pro skating's not the path for me.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I was talking about, I was talking about your sound and the genre, and I mean that's something though that an outside observer shouldn't really do. Can you tell me how would you guys describe the sound of the band?
So I mean, I would say right off the bat, I want to say Lights Off, like compared to our next song that's coming out, it's not the same vibe. Like we're very versatile. Like when we do shows, like a lot of the covers we do are funk covers. We do blues covers, like modern hit covers, pop covers,
stuff too.
Jammer stuff, Led Zeppelin covers. So like that's what we want to do. We don't want to be cornered in to pop punk. I know that song is like pop punkish, but our next song is way more rock.
Or at least it sounds like pop punk.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? We're not so like if you're coming to hear our band and you think our next song, all our songs are gonna be pop punk, you're gonna be disappointed. They're not gonna. But I promise they'll all be good.
Right.
Yeah. I think that all the guys that I have a very, very like eclectic version of like what kind of music we grew up listening to, what kind of music we admire. So when you put all that together, you really do have a very unique blend of music, and it doesn't get really oversaturated or washed when put together. It really does become complemented, actually. So I think it's sort of our blend of just like organic rock and roll that we kind of take and just make it so that more mainstream people can hear it.
Yeah.
It's sort of a version of that.
Like I grew up, dude. I'm a guilty pleasure of mine. I love dubstep. My favorite kind of music is kind of dubstep, but I'm not gonna make dubstep, but like I love rock and roll too, so.
Well, that's interesting to me though, and that's I'm really glad I asked that question now, because so tell me about like, and we can even just go down the row here. Musical background. What were your primary influences? Whether it's on your primary instrument or not. Coming up, Josh, let's start with you. What did you what were the big sounds that kind of inspired you early on?
I'm a huge fan of Peter Gabriel. I love Peter Gabriel. Van Halen was definitely a big influence on Joe and I would also say Ricky. Joe takes a lot of influence from Eddie as well. Me, not so much from Alex Van Halen from a drummer perspective. I don't really like. I'll take little bits from other drummers, but like I like to say I'm my own individual artist as a drummer. I have my own perspective of how I view the drums to sound like. But like my musical background of what I like, dude, the list goes on and on and on. Like I would be here. I would have a separate interview just on that. I think well, but Peter Gabriel's definitely one of the main.
Right on. Hawkins, what about you, man?
Dude, I listen to everything. When I'm in my car, I'm bumping dubstep. Then I'm bumping next song's Led Zeppelin. Next song is Tekashi 6ix9ine. I listen to everything, dude. I love it all. If it's good for that genre, then I like it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. But mostly, I grew up like classic rock and stuff like that. So I guess that's my biggest influence.
As a vocalist, who do you try to emulate the most? Obviously, you have your own sound and your own thing, but we all have our influence.
My range is pretty big. Like we cover Yellow by Coldplay, and I sing it just like he does in falsetto. And then the next song is Whole Lotta Love. I sing it. I like to think I compliment Robert Plant's voice pretty well.
Yeah, man.
You
sing that one full voice?
Yeah.
Oh, heck yeah.
It's been a long time since I rock and roll, dude.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
So yeah, that's it. So like I like whatever the song calls for, I'm gonna hit it with that,
Nice. Ricky, how about you, man?
For me, it was always the early American blues music that I fell in love with very early on. So, things like T-Bone Walker, Muddy Waters, Howlin' Wolf, Big Time, Prowlin' Wolf.
Three Kings, that kind of thing?
Yeah, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Eric Clapton, stuff like that. I was really captivated really early on by early American blues music. And that shows in nothing in our music today.
Well, a little bit, yeah, but also, you guys were saying that you've got, the song that you've got coming out after Lights Off is a little bit more of a rock influence tune.
For sure, yeah. Full screaming vocals and
really
harder guitar,
I want to hear that.
John, what we get though is you get soul, and you learn how to take the soul that you get and incorporate it into a song that you wouldn't really expect.
Right.
It's all.
Right on. All right, Joe, you're up.
Oh man, I was listening to so much growing up. Peter Gabriel was huge for me. A lot of 80s music, a lot of 70s, like funkier stuff. Eric Johnson, he's a huge influence on my guitar playing. Love his stuff. Michael Jackson. We try and incorporate a lot of those, powerful elements that amazing music of the past had into what we do. So hopefully it comes true. You know what I mean?
The thing for Joe is that I always told him, try to emulate Michael Jackson's music and his lifestyle.
Sure. Remember, the music was written by Quincy Jones. So we're really talking about Quincy Jones. You know what I mean? That's how I always rationalize that in my head anyway. So, all right. So formation, May 2019. Right off the bat, you've got yourself, a nice little following that's coming. Did you record Lights Off before or after COVID?
Before,
yeah.
Before. Okay.
All right. They got it mastered and stuff like as COVID started happening.
It was mastered by Nathan Hansler out of Nashville. He's from the Hit Lab.
Yeah, he's got some Grammys.
He's a Grammy Award-winning producer. Really, really mastered the track in an amazing way and took it from to a wholly different level. So,
I mean, and that's not surprising. The engineer work on it is excellent. I mean, it really is. It sounds great.
Well, that's mostly Josh too. Josh mixes and masters everything by himself.
So I didn't master.
Oh,
this
not
song.
masters, mixes. He mixes.
I was one of the producers and definitely the mix engineer for this one.
I never could understand why audio engineers have this like weird reverence for mastering. Like every time I talk to an audio engineer, they're always just like, "Oh no, but I don't master. I don't master." I don't master.
It's an art form. It really is.
That's what they say, man.
Very tedious.
I'm listening to things in individual, like smaller spectrum. They're seeing the bigger picture, but tiny little frequencies and little things changes everything. The bigger picture of it all.
I don't know, man. No one's ever been able to explain it to me in a way that in a way that makes sense. I just trust the reverence, and it's universal across every engineer that I've ever spoken to.
That's interesting. Yeah.
What was I saying? Hold on. Oh yeah. So, tell me about the recording process for this tune.
We recorded a bulk of it at RVP Studios. A lot of the guitar work, the vocals, and then we decided on changing a lot of it during the COVID period, and we did it in our home studio. And the process of how the home studio works, I feel like you get more intimate than feeling you're on the clock and you're in a professional environment. But when you're at home, even though we set things up and we use the best gear as possible, we just feel like we get to really pour more of our soul out into it, and you don't have a clock,
Yeah, no one's rushing you.
Yeah, no one's rushing you. Yeah. And plus, you don't have other bands trying to play and rehearse and record right next while you're recording everything.
Yeah, while we're recording, there are bands in the practice rooms. Did you hear them?
Yeah.
And I think that's what people are really picking up on, John, with this track. Right now, I think it's hit over.
Yeah, it's almost, our song "Lights Off" is almost at 100,000 streams on Spotify in less than a month.
Yeah. Dude, and then, that was a crazy number for me. So how do you what's the strategy there, or was there a strategy?
That's this man right here. He's working his ass off.
Yeah, it's a full-time job, John. Very rewarding, but I think the core of it was we just knew that we had a really, really good song, and I think people just respond naturally to good music.
Well, we also we've been pushing it hard, sending it to everyone. Every party I go to, I grab the aux and I play it and I shove it down people's throats. Listen to this song.
You got to.
Yeah, sometimes I will unplug it. Everyone gets mad. I'm like, guys, I'm sorry. You got to listen to it.
And for me,
you're that guy.
And for me, work at a studio, I meet tons and tons of people. So I get their emails, I get their contact, and we get to meet some people are notable, like Nick Fradiani. He used to come by. I did work with him as an engineer. And we just, sent out our music to them, and then they sent it out to other people too.
In a nutshell, it's just networking, man.
Yeah.
Just keep talking to people, keep sending it to people, and make friends, and they'll post it for you.
Can I tell you a very interesting story, John? A really small story?
Please do.
So early on, the guys and I, as we tried to push this out, we would just contact a lot of people, and someone reached out to us. I can't mention his name, but it's the former manager of Van Halen, right? He also managed the Sex Pistols. So I saw that he came out with a book, and we recently talked to him a little bit. And he really, really, really enjoyed our music, enjoyed the band, and gave us a lot of really, really good tips. Became a good friend of the band. And we used some of those things that he taught me, that he taught all of us to really get a record out. And that was pre-COVID, So the thing is that he basically taught me about just get it out.
Pound the pavement.
Pound the pavement,
it's the only way.
And get out like they used to do it in the old school.
Yeah, I was going to say that too. Also, we play a lot. Every gig that we can possibly get, we don't care if it's 10 people or 1,000 people, dude. We go and we play. It's 10 more people that'll hear our stuff that didn't hear it before,
Well, that's the attitude, man. And I feel like that is, I'm glad to hear that from a younger band, honestly, because there is, YouTube has turned every single person's laptop into New York City and LA. You know what I mean? You can get famous from anywhere. Yeah. But and I think you guys are saying this now. The hustle does not go away. In fact, if anything, just because of the oversaturation of the market, it's so much more necessary.
Yeah,
What are some individual steps that you would do? So you're playing every show possible. You're talking to as many people. What about social media strategies, digital stuff?
Yeah, I guess I do most of the social media stuff for Instagram, and my sister helps a lot too because she went to college for that stuff. So
That helps.
yeah, it's mostly like, dude, sending it, really being like one-on-one with everyone on your Instagram. You can't try to just hit everyone at once. I will DM like all 2,000 of our followers the same song, and it'll take 2 hours to do, but like you got to do it,
It's a lot of hard work.
And then we pay for some promotions on Instagram, and that doesn't help as much as you would think it would, but helps
Never
a little.
does.
We had these 2 fans coming to the
Yeah,
show.
we met some fans tonight. We're starting to actually get fans that we're meeting that we don't know, and they come to see us, and it's cool.
It's a good feeling, right?
Yeah, it feels awesome.
Yeah, man.
So, all right. So COVID happens, and you're in the midst of you said you'd recorded it already, and you're in the midst of mixing it.
Yeah.
What was the impact? What was the impact of COVID for you guys in particular?
A lot of rest. I was like, finally.
A lot of rest, dude.
A lot of rest. That's good. That's a good
Well,
thing.
no, it sucks because, dude, we had some of the biggest shows that we've ever had lined up. We were
Yeah,
gonna
man.
play the brewery festival at the Oakdale Dome
Yeah.
for like 4,000 people, like this year, and that got canceled. We had more FTC shows that got canceled. We had a bunch of shows lined up. We had that festival, that music festival for that college and stuff. Like everything got canceled. This year would have been like our year to blow up
I think
from
it was
like
towards the end.
groundwork, and just COVID ruined everything, dude. As it probably did with a lot of bands, you know.
Right.
But I have to say, it is somewhat of a blessing in a way because right now everybody is on their phones waiting to listen to music.
True.
They're
Yeah.
home. You could reach people. You could reach
Yeah.
A&R agents.
Yeah,
you could
it's true,
reach
yeah.
producers.
Also gives us a lot of time to write.
Yeah,
As well.
it gives us a lot of time to write.
So instead of practicing for a show, we can meet up and write songs. You know.
So in all seriousness, there's a Chinese proverb, John. It says, where there's crisis, there's always opportunity.
Mhm.
So we turned a crisis into an opportunity by using our downtime as uptime, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The most productive we've ever been because there's no distractions. There's no like work, coming at you or anything else. We've just like the guys and I will wake up, eat, sleep, and drink music, and then close the day.
Yeah.
And start again.
So were you guys able to keep rehearsing and practicing through quarantine?
Yeah, we just came here.
This is our spot right
Right
here, outside near our patio.
If anyone wondered why it's dark, we are outside and getting eaten alive by bugs.
Yeah.
You see a lot of this going on.
Yeah.
Oh, we can hear I can hear the crickets, man. No, yeah, definitely.
Really.
Also, one of the things the interesting thing about playing outside is that we can't play too loud because we've actually had the cops come back.
Just now in our last show.
In
Yeah,
the
last
backyard.
time, yeah, last time.
Oh yeah.
Back
You know what I
in our
did?
house.
Instead, I marketed, gave him my card, said, "Come to our next show."
Can I tell you? When I was in college, we got a noise complaint. I was in a band. We got a noise complaint. The cops showed up at our garage, and they just started laughing. And they like pointed to my guitar player. They're like, "Hey, dude, play Hey Joe." That was good. All right, play Panama. All right. Now you guys have to shut up. But a week later, we got a call from this local bar that's a big cop hangout. And they were like, "Hey, officers, blah, 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 said that you guys were pretty good. You should come down. We made $300 off that show."
Yeah.
Wow.
So listen, take every opportunity, even if it's you getting called on, getting the cops called on you.
Yeah.
That could be a marketing opportunity.
Yeah,
Why
to be
not?
honest, I might. Now that you said it, I might go to the police station and figure out where they like hang out and like see if I can get a show there, like the policeman's ball or something. I don't know.
There you go. There's money there.
We ran ourselves out.
Go rob a store and just be like, "Hawkins the band. Hawkins the band."
Oh my God. So, all right. So Lights Off, new single. It's going to be out right now. And I should have done this before. It's Fairfield County Live and Local. We're presented by the Solano Collection. I'm talking to Hawkins the band. It's just Hawkins, but Hawkins the band is all their social media.
Yeah.
And they have a new single, Lights Off, that we're going to play in just a couple of minutes. I think actually 2 minutes from now. You're going to be able to hear this song that we've been talking about so much. But before we get into that, you've talked about new recordings. You've talked about other stuff that you're planning on releasing. Do you have a time frame for that release? Is there an album in the works? Is it just going to be gradual, like singles? What do you guys? What's the
EP
plan?
in the works, right? 5 songs.
Yeah.
So first, we're gonna start with an EP with 5 songs, but I think we can release them one at a time.
Yeah.
we'll release them one at a
We'll
time.
probably release them we're aiming for an October release for our next song.
Yeah.
We could tell people what the name of it is.
Yeah, I think I Love Her. is the next song.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Banger. We just played it. We played it at the past 2 shows, and it's getting great responses. A lot of people like it more than Lights Off, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And this is the song that you said is a little bit more of a rocker than
Lights
Lights Off.
We give some Rolling Stones and Beatles references in the lyrics and stuff.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see. I mean, we are about 2 minutes out from this song, from hearing this song. Any last things that you would like people watching, either right now or in the future, to know about the band, where they can reach you guys?
I want to say we're very interactive. If you hit us up on social media or email us, whatever, we will answer you. We would love to talk to you about anything. We'll play anywhere you want. We've played at delis to Mohegan Sun, Wolf Den. Literally, we played at a deli before.
That's awesome.
all the way to the Wolf Den. So you just let us know. We played on a floating stage. We played on a boat. Yeah. So you just let us know. We would love to talk to you. We would love to answer you. Just go check out our Instagram and see what you think.
And there it is right down there at Hawkins the Band on Instagram, on Facebook too, right? The website is Hawkins the Band. And these are the guys right here. In about 1 minute, we're going to hear their new single, Lights Off. It's got a ton of views, a ton of streams rather, on Spotify, but you can listen to it right now on 95.9 FM if you're in Fairfield County, or if you're not in Fairfield County, you can listen to it on 959thefox.com and stream it from anywhere that you are. Hawkins, guys, thank you so much for being here.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, fellas. Stick around for a second. I'll talk to you after we go, after we're off the air. But for everyone watching at home, go check out 959thefox.com or 95.9 FM if you live in Fairfield County. This is Fairfield County Live and Local. My name is John Kamal. The song you're about to hear is called Lights Off by the band Hawkins. I'll catch you next time.